The mysterious case of the protein meal toppers. The plot thickens. It's a complete mystery and pretty scary. After almost a month of intense investigations, no one knows how hundreds of people became seriously ill after eating a plant-based protein meal topper in the USA. The product is Daily Harvest French lentil and leek crumbles, and a recall is underway. Daily Harvest is a food company that delivers plant-based food such as smoothies, oat and chia bowls, and flatbreads direct to consumers. I wrote about the food safety risk profile of direct-to-consumer businesses in the context of this outbreak in issue 44 of The Rotten Apple. Despite extensive product testing by the food company and by the US Food and Drug Administration, the FDA, and by independent parties, including the food litigation lawyer Bill Mahler, no one has yet been able to pinpoint the reason for the illnesses. Daily Harvest says they've tested for and ruled out these potential causes of the illnesses: hepatitis A, norovirus, mycotoxins and aflatoxins, a range of these were tested, all major bacterial foodborne pathogens, contamination with common human food allergens. The FDA says there are 133 adverse illness events and 42 hospitalizations based on consumer complaints and adverse event reporting systems reports. However, the lawyer Bill Mahler says he's been retained by almost double that number of people who say they were sickened. Some people required emergency surgery and had their gallbladders removed. Many are concerned they will have lasting liver damage. Some consumers allege they got sick from other products, not the one that was recalled. So how come we can't identify the cause? Extensive testing of products from the affected batch failed to show up any well-known chemical or microbiological toxicants. Bill Mahler thinks the illnesses could be linked to a little-known ingredient called tara. He says some of his clients became ill after consuming products other than the recalled product, and that these items also contain tara. The tara theory is gaining traction and is supported by the fact that a smoothie from a different company, Revive Superfoods, which also contains tara, is allegedly causing similar severe illnesses. The tricky thing about testing food is that you need to know what you're looking for. There's no such thing as a machine that can magically identify poisonous compounds from complex mixtures like multi-ingredient foods. It's true that analytical machines like mass spectrometers can show peaks for various molecules in foods, but with tens of thousands of molecules present in food, it's almost impossible to know which ingredient might be the source of a peak, or whether that peak represents molecules from a combination of ingredients or from a single ingredient. In the case of tara, if the ingredient does contain a dangerous toxin, scientists would first have to figure out what that is before they could test for it. I found very few research studies that explored the components of tara or their toxicity online, so it's likely that we just don't know what to look for yet. What do we know about tara? Tara comes from the plant Caesalpinia spinosa, or Caesalpinia spinosa, a South American tree that is used for medicinal and food purposes. In mainstream food production, tara gum is used as a thickener and stabilizer in a similar way to guar gum and locust bean gum. Tara gum is extracted from the seed pods of the tree. Tara gum is an approved food thickener stabilizer with the food additive number E417. Like guar gum and locust bean gum, tara gum is a galactomannan gum. Tara protein powder is marketed as a high-protein superfood and nutritional supplement. Tara protein powder is completely different from tara gum, and it's not an approved food additive, but that doesn't prevent it from being used as an ingredient in the USA. Suppliers of tara protein powder do not say which part of the tree is used to make it, although I think it's probably derived from the leguminous seeds of the tree. Interestingly, tara is said to be used for a variety of medicinal and pesticidal purposes in Peru, and that suggests it has strong cytotoxic effects. Tara seed pod extracts are used for heavy industrial processes due to their high concentrations of tannins, including quinic acid. The organisation Plants for a Future suggests that the high tannin content in tara pods makes them lethally poisonous to animals that eat them. How could tara cause illnesses? It's possible that a batch of the tara ingredient used by Daily Harvest and maybe by Revive Superfoods was unsafe. Perhaps tara's naturally occurring tannins were present at too high levels. Or perhaps the process of preparing the tara protein powder failed to eliminate the natural toxins that are present in many of the seeds from legume plants. Or perhaps there was a post-processing contamination event, either accidental or as a result of food fraud activities. Such scenarios are pretty uncommon in food poisoning outbreaks, but they have happened before. In 2019, 5 people died and hundreds were sickened after consuming grain-based food made from soybeans. The soybeans had been contaminated with the seeds of the poisonous Jimson weed plant, which is Datura stramonium. In short, despite extensive testing, the cause of a massive foodborne illness outbreak remains a mystery. Victims have been severely sickened with liver disease and some have had gallbladder surgery. All well-known chemical and microbiological toxicants plus all major microbial pathogens have been ruled out. Some commentators are suggesting that an ingredient called tara could be the source of the problems. Tara gum is an approved food thickener, stabilizer, and it's derived from the seed pods of Kale Salpinia spinosa. Tara protein powder is different to tara gum and is probably derived from the seeds of the tara tree, Caelspinia spinosa. Tara seed pods are said to be poisonous to animals and are used for the production of industrial tannins. And as always, you can find the sources for everything that I've mentioned in this article and podcast in the email.